Hey everyone, so in this video we're going to take a look at how to have buildings generate resources over time. So a few days ago I mentioned that I purchased the Cartoon Army World Asset Pack and that I thought it was good for an RTS and that unfortunately I don't have enough time to do a full RTS tutorial, but what I'm doing is some of these one-shot tutorials and then you can combine the functionality on your own. So in the previous video, we looked at how to have a base spawn an object in the game world. So it was an enemy tank and it would be spawned on a timer. In this case, we want to have buildings modify a variable over time, and that variable will be used to determine how many resources you have. So you're going to have one variable for energy and another variable for ore. In your game, you might actually have 4, 5, 6 different variables. I'm just showing you the basics, and then you can just rinse and repeat and reconstitute this code for your own purposes. So unlike the other video, there's not a whole lot to see. I'll put the bases on the screen, but ultimately the generating of resources, it's a variable. It's just incrementing a variable. So what we'll do is down here, you see some numbers. We'll have the numbers be displayed in the console as it's referred to. So let's take a power plant and let's take a storage. One will generate energy, the other one will generate ore. Let's go ahead and create a GM object just so we can collect some functionality and some variables in one place. I already created those scripts. Don't worry about this object, or that script, because those were used in the other video. They will have no impact on this one. So statcon is the script we're using for the GM object, and all it does is it generates two variables and then displays those values in the console. So public static, again, static is what makes this variable available throughout the entire application to any object. So this must be static. Public static int total energy equals 0. Public static int total ore equals 0. Clearly one will be used for energy, one is going to be used for an ore resource. And then in the update section, you technically don't have to do this, but this is what will make it display down here in the console. So debug log, we're saying display that total energy variable. And even though this is plus, this is really concatenation. You're not adding anything together, you're just making a string. Total energy plus a bunch of spaces. That's what the quotes are for. It's like print whatever is between these quotes, and it's just spaces. So we'll have one number, a bunch of spaces, and then the other number. And again, the application will function without this. This is just so you can actually see that it's working. Now what you can do with your generators, you could either have one script for all your generators or one script for each type of generator. 6 one way, 1/2 dozen the other way. If you have one script for each type of generator, you're going to have more scripts, but the coding will be simpler. Because what we're going to do, we're going to do the opposite. We're going to have just one script for all the generators, and because of that, you need to have if statements to check the name of the object the script is attached to. You wouldn't have to do that if you have more scripts, one for each type of generator. But again, it depends what you're trying to balance. Are you trying to balance the code, or are you trying to balance the script? For a game like this, it's not going to really functionally impact things much. The scripts might work slightly better because you don't have all those if statements running. But again, at this level of gaming, I'm not, or development, I should say, I'm not concerned about optimization. Optimization can always come later. Okay, so we're going to have one script for one script for all the types of generators. So we're going to take gens and we're going to put it onto the power plant. And we're going to take gems and we're going to put it onto the storage. And now let's go ahead and look at gems. So what gems does, so private int base level equals 1. The reason why I put this in here is that very often in RTSs you can upgrade a building, and that when you upgrade the building, it generates more, okay? So this ultimately will be used as a factor, literally a factor in a mathematical equation that based on the level will determine how much is being generated per amount of time. start section. So this gets executed once when the object gets instantiated. If GameObject.name contains power, because the power plant contains the word power. So if GameObject.name contains power, start coroutine energy gen. So that is a coroutine that we're going to get to in a moment. And this is what I was talking about, that if you have a separate script for each type of generator, then you don't have to do an if statement because it's not connected to multiple types of generators. It's only connected to one type of generator. So having multiple scripts simplifies the code, but now you have the added complexity of more scripts. If GameObject.name.contains storage, then start the coroutine or gen. So this is one routine and this is a separate routine. And then we create the routines. So I enumerated energy gen, yield, return new, wait for seconds 5. So 5 seconds will be waited for. So this will not execute until those 5 seconds have passed. So statcon, that's the other script that we looked at. When it is a static variable, you have to tell Unity what script you're referring to. So statcon.total energy plus equals 10. So in other words, total energy would be increased by 10, and your game would determine what that 10 means. Is it 10 megawatts? Is it 10 gigawatts? Maybe you're not applying any actual real-world measure to it. It's just 10 units of energy. So after 5 seconds, you'll get 10 units of energy, but it's multiplied by that base level. So it starts as level 1, which means you get 10. Well, if you do something that upgrades this to level 2, and that variable gets changed to 2, or should I say the value of that variable gets changed to 2, then this means it would generate 20. If it becomes level 3, it generates 30, so on and so forth. And then this simply says, start the coroutine all over again. So you've waited 5 seconds, you've incremented this variable, now do it again, and do it again, and do it again, forever. And then the other one, or gen, excuse me, should look very familiar. Yield, return new, wait 4 seconds. In this case, we're going to have you wait 10 seconds. Again, we have to reference the script in which the variable is defined, declared. StartCon.totalOr is equal to 30 units times the base level. So this base variable is going to be unique to each and every object. So base level is not shared amongst all the bases. It's an individual base would be upgraded. And then start coroutine or gen. So again, that's it. That's all it takes to have things generate over time, and even that is a little bit more complicated because I decided to add in the base upgrade. Now, clearly there's no coding here that indicates the base level being increased. So whether it be like on mouse down because you click on it to upgrade, again, that's beyond the scope of this video, but at least this carves out the functionality for you that you can work on later. Okay, and if I haven't forgotten anything, that should be all it should take. Like I said, there really isn't much to see here, and you'll just see these numbers increasing. Again, when it comes to a resource, as far as something that's kind of nebulous, in other words, I don't mean a physical resource like there's a tank, there's a soldier. I'm talking about these consumable resources such as energy and ore. Even though you may have an on-screen representation, it's really just a variable. And then it's just a matter of, does that number then get reduced because it's been consumed? That's about it, really. Okay, so I hope you found this useful. I hope you found this interesting. Feel free to leave any comments if there's anything else you want to see. I'll try to do a couple more of these one-shots, but like I said, my time right now is divided between my full-time job and working on the Hero Diner. I've been doing a full tutorial about that if you wish to follow that. That's really the focus of my attention right now, but I figured I could take a few minutes to do this. Okay, so I hope you found this interesting, and please do enjoy the rest of your day.